Penis.
Welcome to another episode of Bastard LLC. I'm one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker.
Luke Young.
Robert Downey Jr.
That's Robert Downey Jr. And we have a phenomenal fucking guest for this week's episode, Nick Glavin. Everyone fucking please give it up for the tattoo artist extraordinaire.
I feel like there should be walk-in music happening.
Yeah, dude, for sure. You need some fucking Triple H walk-in music right now with this shit.
The fleet of guitars from like Idiocracy.
I like that they know nothing else in that movie except for how to play guitar like metalheads the entire time and bang their heads.
I like how he kind of looks like Rudy Giuliani's lawyer.
If you're new to our Patreon, this is the Bastard LLC Movie Companion Podcast. We're going to walk you through an entire movie from front to back, and we're going to crack jokes, we're going to review it, we're going to talk about set pieces and fucking cinematography and all that fucking boring gay shit and everything else. You're going to love it. If you haven't seen the movie yet, go and watch it first or prepare for everything to be spoiled for you. The movie this week that Nick Glavin chose was
13th Warrior,
which is now streaming on Tubi.
Which Lloyd has apparently seen 600,000 fucking times.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies.
And I knew that because every time that a scene was about to happen, Lloyd was so graceful as to beat the subtitles to what the actual dialogue was going to be. And man, nothing better when you're watching a movie than to have the dialogue spoiled for you 3 seconds before the actual characters say it or the dialogue gets there on the screen. I love that.
You know, the great part is I hate it as much as you do.
No, you don't, or you wouldn't have done it.
No, I really do.
Do you hear what he's saying right now? I hate it as much as you do. But I did it anyways. No, you don't, you psychopath, because you wouldn't have done it if you hated it as much as I did.
That's what you don't get about like that intrusive thought thing. Is it really will just like kind of take over and you keep doing it. You're like, stop. Dude, like I tell myself.
Dude,
to
that
stop.
statement comes with a little. All right, yeah, that's a visual. All right. Set up what this movie is, Nick. Please, just a quick little. How'd you find this movie? What was the first time you viewed this movie?
I got it from the library, actually. My mom and her boyfriend used to take me and my friends in the library all the time to rent movies back in the day, and it was one of the ones that we had picked out and we watched. I hadn't seen it since then, so it was actually kind of cool to see it again.
Fake hair in my eyes. Keep talking. Oh God, it burns.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas is like a poet for like a Maharaja or some shit like that, and he like tries to favor like his wife or whatever, and then he gets banished from the city.
Close, but
whatever.
What's the real?
So
Lloyd will do a better job.
He's a poet in Baghdad, and then he one of like the sheik's friends has a hot wife that bangs Antonio Banderas, so they banish him and make him an ambassador because you didn't kill people that were in like high society there.
Real quick, guys, do you know how dumb I am? Do you remember how I've been trying to figure out why the headphones sound different this entire time? Oh, it's all the hair in between the headphones.
You're a moron.
I'm a fool. Keep going. Keep going.
So he gets banished and put as an ambassador to the north, which was like at the time, like all the Goths, Tartars, those were like the scariest parts of traveling at that point. Were like that part where the Tartars are coming.
Yeah, the banditos.
They all go running, and then as soon as they see that Viking ship, the Tartars are like, "Fuck this," and dip.
Set up the beginning of the movie. What happens right in the beginning?
All right, so he's explaining how he was a poet, lived life very carefree, banged some important guy's hot wife, gets banished to the land of the Desutlak, which are the Northmen.
Right. What's the open scene? Luke, can you run us through this? You're our very honored narrator.
That is the open
Can we all bow to Luke for no particular reason at all?
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of reasons, but let's not go down the list because we've got a show to run.
3 of them are his penis.
That's right. 3 of them. And, all right, so after he fucking pipes down this fucking rich dude's wife, right, and he gets made an ambassador, he starts living life on the edge with a bunch of psychopaths, right? And he's got this translator that was gifted to him from the same dude that banished him. And so they're supposed to go meet up with these Norse guys, right? And so they meet up with the Norse dudes. And
why did I pick?
Why do you keep
Luke
picking us
to be the distinguished narrators?
I'm having too much fun to be serious narrating.
Lloyd
like
has
last
more knowledge
LLC.
on this whole story.
Nah, dude, it's way more fun this way. Fuck the real story, all right? All right, so he can correct it when I get to the real big errors.
All right.
All right, so fucking they meet up with the Norse guys, and the translator is like, man, these guys are bad news.
Wait, how can you narrow without your sunglasses, please?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, back to it now.
You can't see his eyes. Why doesn't he need sunglasses?
Well, now you can because you're still not seeing
No,
him.
you can. He looks like Cool Raiden.
Cool Raiden.
He's Johnny Cage and Raiden mixed together.
Nailed it. Yeah.
You're the lost
The
storm
multiverse.
Crushed it, dude.
from Big Trouble in Little China. You're the fourth storm. They didn't let fight.
Hey, we already did that.
You know, they were
LLC.
running low on Guardians of the Earth. You know,
I'll tell you what,
mean?
though. Someone ought to get me those glasses for. Someone needs to find the Big Trouble in Little China glasses for me.
Please, God. You know the ones. You guys know. Don't make me say the ones. You know the ones. The Luke's hat ones. Say no more. Keep going. Distinguished narrator, please.
All right, so they meet up with the Norsemen finally after they come along the river after they just got chased down by the Tartars, and the Tartars are hands down the fucking
Hold on.
illest gangs in
Hold
the
on.
land. What?
Can you settle the fuck down with the Tartars?
They are Tartars.
The Tartards?
There's no D's in there. You're throwing the D's in there.
Hey,
All right,
I'm
so
right here.
So the goofballs are attacking.
all right, so the goofballs attacked, and they were like, "We need to run away from the goofballs." And so, as the goofballs got
What do we
scared,
do? We need a beardless Arabian man.
Well,
That's
first-
the only way.
Who's
Well,
actually Spanish
The
in real life.
Norsemen showed up, and that scared them. And then the lightning showed up because goofballs are scared of loud noises. And then they ran back.
And blinking lights and galaxy projectors, apparently.
And so they fucking
Thor scared him off.
Thor was like, "Don't fuck with my little dudes." And so they fucking hightailed it around. The goofballs ran home, and they linked up with the Norsemen. And Antonio Banderas is like, "Hey, so are these Norsemen? Are they solid dudes, or are like what's going on?" And the guy was like, "You know what? It all depends if they fucking kill us or not, and or if they kill us, or if
So they might kill us, or they might let us live.
right. Those are the only two good alternatives. And all the other ones are bad. I guess slavery is maybe an option. Rape, pet, I don't know, but." I guess those are the only two real options.
I love your extensive knowledge of ancient worlds.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
do I
I
become
mean-
a pet or just get raped or slaves?
Well, am I wrong?
I don't know.
I'm not. All right, so moving on. And
How many books were there?
they link up with the
least
fucking
4.
Norsemen, and the Norsemen are hanging out, and they're like they get word from this little boy after they
All right,
spot.
well, hold on, you skip. So when they first run into him, they're looking for like the king or
Yeah.
whatever, and
and King died of the sickie.
yeah, he's like, Baku Tabernacle. He's like, he's out in that tent out there. He's like, I had no more to est. He's like, he can't talk to him because he's fucking dead. This is his funeral.
Owen
And then-
Hart's manager, what do you think about all this? I just wanted to throw in Owen Hart's manager.
And then see, that's where you meet Bulvi, who is basically like,
And also his name is not spelled the way it sounds. But go ahead.
but yeah, he's like the heir apparent. And there's another dude who like goes to pull a knife on him, and he slices his whole fucking chest in half,
It
which
was
is dope.
Yeah,
That's,
that was
you
a
watched,
really good
you've seen
scene.
like the all makeup obviously, but exposed rib cage. Like
Yeah, it was
like it
sick.
showed a legitimate like sword wound.
Yeah, and then he like rolled his shoulders back and it split open bigger and shit.
Yeah.
That's when I realized the visual effects were on point immediately because we're talking 10 minutes in, right? It's when this first
Yeah,
scene
and the
happens.
practical effects are just
It looks
solid.
so good.
Off the
Let's look
charts.
up real quick who did the practical effects for the
Luke
movie.
Young. And moving on. So
Well, that settles that.
Damn, bro, you're old.
Well, we're done now.
How long
Wrap
have
it
you
up,
been
pretty
doing
boys.
this?
Wrap it up.
But so you meet the coolest dude. I can't remember his fucking name right now because that's what my brain does sometimes.
Wolfgar,
Big penis,
no,
long
Wolfgar's
balls.
the.
little
Kid.
boy.
He's a messenger
okay, I
boy.
thought that's
I'm
what
talking
you were
about the
getting to.
cool guy who has all the fun lines throughout the whole movie.
Wolf penis sucks with boys.
The dude who like the one that gets in the fight later with the 3 shields.
Oh, the
Oh,
guy that
yeah.
we all like. That
Yeah.
I don't even know if
I
they
can't
did
remember
they
his
say
name.
that
Fucking
dude's name.
Yeah, I just don't remember what it is.
No,
so-
type in Warrior 13 cast. We need to find out these character names.
You don't even
bro.
know the name of the movie, bitch. What do you mean? Type in the Warrior 13 cast, dude. Then
Type
you'll
in
find
for-
what we need. Don't talk to me like you don't even know
Nah,
the name of the movie, but you're like,
check
let me
out-
tell you how to Google
fucking
search.
look.
Suck a dick.
We
How about
watched
that?
47 Ronin.
He's like, type in Tom Cruise 47 Ronin,
Yeah.
Last Emperor, Warrior,
Yeah.
Samurai.
Fucking idiot.
It's
Type
the
that
sa-
in and maybe
it's
we'll
the
get
same-
some information.
It's the same thing. There's fucking Asian people and swords, dude. It's the same thing, bro.
Asian, I don't think there's a single Asian person
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
think
movie.
there was not one.
Antonio Banderas.
Single one.
He's 2%.
They don't have a production company for it. Keep going. Keep
Because
going.
it's
The practical
indie, bro.
effects look so good. Can I just say that the cinematography for this film is
Yeah.
beautiful the
Yeah.
entire way through. All the set pieces look so on point. Nothing
On
feels
site.
out of place. Nothing feels fucking like it doesn't need to be there. Like it's just. It has the perfect everything. Like the fog doesn't feel overdone when
It
it's
was
in
real
there.
fog.
The way that the lights are streaming in, like they for real have
That was the real sun.
they have one lit light. So
They didn't even buy in the sun. They didn't bring that into the production crew.
I love you. No, for real. It looks like it's
This is
actually.
how the Sun got its SAG card.
Dude, they just put this.
Oh, fuck.
They put everything in this movie together. Anyways, they cut dude's chest open.
I was saying,
Keep
you ought to
going.
look up how over budget and how late it was getting made.
Let's see what the budget was real quick. It
Yeah.
says the budget was
85?
85 to 160 million, which means that somebody wrote a check for 85 and they were like, okay, well that's not going to be enough, but we'll get there. They doubled the budget.
Yeah, yeah.
And the box office was 61.7 million.
That sucks.
That's less than the budget.
So guys, just up front, go watch this movie. It was good.
It's awesome.
We'll give
It's
you the
so
full
dope.
review at the end, but this is a watch. This is a for sure watch. If you're just listening to this, like I don't care if it's spoil reviewed, I'll just listen to the boys talk. For sure, go watch this.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna-
legit in my top 5 movies.
It's the first time I've seen it. I thought this was going to be like a kung fu flick,
Yeah.
and Luke thought that it was 47 Ronin. Like we were both so far off base on what we thought we were going to watch today. And then when Antonio Banderas came up looking like a beardless Arabian, I was like, "What's happening? What movie are we watching
Yeah,
right now?"
with a Spanish accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was abducted.
This is a John Woo film, right? And I was very confused. And
Nick actually thought we were watching Tommy Boy the whole time.
Oh, close.
I was delightfully surprised
Similar
to find out
themes.
what it was. But I'm gonna watch this movie like 50 more times.
It's
after
so
this.
good.
That's pretty cool.
Keep
All right.
going though. After he gets his chest split open. After
All right, so he splits that fucking dude's chest open, all silly like.
Which makes Bolvi the king of that tribe now.
Yeah. Also, that was the only other contestant
Yeah, yeah.
he was up against.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was just another silly bitch that was like, I'm gonna try to take this guy out so I could take his spot.
No, those were the two like top
Oh,
guys.
okay.
that-
And they were just chilling next to each other. Like
yeah, and then
everything
the
was
one dude
all-
like goes to pull the knife out
and
of
he
his
was like,
sleeve, and
"Not
Bolvi's
today."
like, "Nah, bitch."
All right, so fucking Bullfire fucking
stop at the ceremony. We gotta
You-
stop at the ceremony.
of the shit
The
burning,
bowl, the bowl ceremony.
the bowl ceremony.
Yeah.
Okay. So they fucking they
Party all night for the funeral.
They party all night through the funeral. They fucking wake up.
By the way, before you say how they wake up, I love how they go to the first dude, the main dude that you love the most, the little short guy that's a badass. His chin's resting on the table with his neck bent all the way back, like as if that's how he slept all night. And I'm like, good God, bro, that's got to be worse for your neck than the battle that you were just
Yeah,
in.
probably.
Yeah, that's just where he passed out from the mead.
Yeah, dude, he just went down and people left him. It was fine.
And they had the funeral like thing going on and everything. Didn't like the king's daughter go onto the boat when they
was his
They,
wife.
Yes.
Or
they
his wife,
threw his
like-
wife on the boat and burned her.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
after.
Because
That's
bec-
after the.
Because the king died, her brothers died.
get to that. We'll
and
get to
someone
that.
else died. So
This
they
is
were like,
after.
they might as well just put her along with
Well,
them.
no, that
you
was
know
like
what I
so
mean?
they put all his possessions on the boat with him, and the wife because they all follow him to the afterlife.
because she's property.
Yeah, so like she ranks just slightly below house cat as
Right.
far as like
Right.
like his cat's in there. They put the litter box, just so in the afterlife he can have a pet.
She gets meow mix.
And they were like, oh yeah, throw this bitch on there too because
Right.
he needs something to stick things in. So
So they set that. Oh, okay. So we got it, the morning fucking wake up protocol. So that's the bowl spit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's when
Yep,
it happens.
yep.
So fucking Antonio Banderas wakes up looking like an absolute golden brown angel, and then he fucking makes his way down to where they were all partying all night, and he fucking starts waking them up.
He
and,
looks like convection oven bacon. He's crispy.
and so
Beautiful.
So
and so
crisp.
they're all waking up, and they're like, all right, everybody got to pass along the community spit bowl. And so they're handing out this bowl.
The first guy grabs this big wooden bowl and
Yes.
just drinks from it and goes.
yeah, he
aggressive.
swishes his mouth out like back into the bowl, and
And
they
the
hand it to the next guy. He tilts it up, drinks, rinses his mouth out, spits right back in the bowl.
It's one of those ceremonies that you want to be first in line for.
Yeah, so they passed around to the dude we all like, who we still haven't looked up his name, which is weird. I feel like we should
Yeah,
have
we
done
gotta
that
look
already.
that dude's name up, bro.
But
Vildmir
It was
Kovic.
it was probably Herger. Go back.
Where?
Herger is the joyous. Dennis Storhoy.
You're just quit pointing.
How about you
I'm saying his name.
Just go on
fuckface.
IMDb and you can see.
Dennis Storhoy.
All right.
I don't need the actor's name. I need the character's name.
You're right.
This is taking so much longer than it should.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's all right.
That was him. I was right.
There you go.
No, he nailed it.
But now we don't know the character's name still.
Yeah, that's why I said just
It says the name right next to it. Hold on. What are you saying?
Where?
Right here. What do you mean? It's Herger.
I said Herger.
Herger the Joyce.
Yes.
Right there.
Okay.
And then there's Bullweef, the leader.
Oh, you
All
don't have
right,
a real
so
picture.
fucking Bull Dick and fucking Herger, right?
Bullwife.
Yeah.
So,
So
Herger's like snot rocketing into the bowl like before it passes on, which is great because it has like the little noise when he does it.
yeah, dude, fucking Melchizedek fucking takes a shit in it too.
They try to pass it over to Antonio Banderas and he like two finger pushes it away like gross.
It's fat. I'd do the same thing. I don't care what age it is. You could just have like found out about the wheel yesterday. If you look in a bowl of shit that looks like boogies, blood, plaque, fucking tonsil stones.
I'm
I don't
out.
know what else.
Yeah, but that's because y'all are hoes.
hard pass.
Yeah, this is the heritage that you're so
We're-
proud of.
Hold on.
It's a bunch
hold
of
on.
loogie drinkers.
Shut up. Hold on. So if you're saying if we make a fucking boogie bowl right now,
Let's go. Yeah.
are you mouth washing it right now?
I'm not doing that.
I don't think you guys know me.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
Is that a yes?
It sounds like a get a boogie bowl, dude.
Oh, it's coming back around though.
Yeah, I'm not.
No, I'm starting a procedure.
Nope.
Oh, it's coming back around. We're
I'm
all
a boogie bowl starter. I'm
No,
not
we're
a
all
boogie
getting-
I
bowl
made it
finisher.
clear I'm not a boogie bowl guy.
all right. Well, then just move
In
on.
the ookie cookie line, I'm first. All right, I'm a quick bust.
All right, so
How do we get to Ookie Cookie?
all right,
Yeah, that's
It's
later.
the same thing, but with
That's later in the movie.
all right. So they wake up right, and they're like, "What do we do now? We got to come up with a plan." Bull wife is like, "You know what? Let's call in the Angel of Death. She's always got the fucking schematics for the greatest plan of all time."
the
So they-
oldest lady in the tribe, the
So-
38-year-old
right.
woman.
She just fucking celebrated her 35th, and she fucking she comes in hungover as fuck. She's got a cloak over her head so she can't see the sun.
And a small child
Yeah, a
leader.
child helping her walk.
Yeah.
And then she spills the turtle bones over the fucking
dumps,
rug.
Yeah, she dumps over her fucking turtle necklace.
Her leftover KFC.
She had a turtle necklace that was filled
The
with
French
bones.
fries you just ate were the same thing that she.
I didn't
dumped
eat
out
any of
that
those French
turtle.
fries. Fuck those French fries.
Hey, I fucked 2 of those sad fries up. So after she dumps out the fucking chicken bones, that she looks around and she's like, "Well,
So there's 13 of the bones.
There's
12
12
of them are
white
white
ones.
and 1 brown one.
and she's like, "We need a brown guy on the squadron.
Like
Do we have any brown in the mix?"
Yeah, 13 warriors must go. And it's like, who's going to be first? And
And there was 2 of them. There was 2 brown guys in the mix, and the old guy was like, "I'm tapping out on this one. Like, I did the last great adventure. You got this one."
Yeah, he's old as fuck. So
Yeah,
they
so-
were like, the 13th warrior must be no Northman. So they all like look at Antonio Banderas and he's like,
So they send
what the
him-
fuck's up?
And meanwhile, translator's like, "I guess I'm going to Pakistan and living it up because I'm not about to just hang out here with these Norse bras." You know what I mean? So the translator
Norse
disappears. Yeah, it's a good time. So they're like, "You're part of the team now." And they start gearing up. They're like throwing equipment at him. Like, here's a sword dick phase, and they're prepping their horses. And
We
stuff.
missed a beat.
They're prepping the horses, right?
We missed a beat. No,
Which
he's
beat?
sitting out at the campfire and in a single night learns
No,
their
no,
whole
no.
language.
So that's
That's after you.
All right.
no, he,
so-
No,
doesn't
that's
get, he
before.
gets the sword after they land, but like,
Yeah.
they're on the boat and he's like, "Oh, shouldn't we be
you're
close to
right.
land?" No, boy, this is no day to be close to land. Like,
Yeah.
because there's a big storm. If you're close to land, you'll wreck the boat. But yeah, sorry. Anyway, they're in the movie. It looks like 3 nights.
Yeah.
Like, but it's supposed to be months. Like in the book, it's months.
What's
that he
the name of
travels
the
with
book?
them. Eaters of the Dead by Michael Crichton.
It was like literally
I'm
just.
reading it.
It was literally just the cop out that were like, we don't want to have to fucking understand Norse the rest of this movie.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we all know y'all don't want to read subtitles. So here, this is how he learns English.
and thank fucking God.
or not
dude.
English, Norse technically, but they all start speaking English. He stayed up 3 nights, watched them all, and learned. They all learned how to speak English, and then collectively, Antonio Banderas learned how to speak English too, even though it's supposed to be Norse.
It was amazing.
But yeah, so in the movie, it looks like it's just like 3 nights that they stopped. Because it's like it cuts to like him listening and watching their mouths move, and then it goes to like black for a second, fades into another night. So it looks like it's 3 nights, but in the book it's supposed to be months. That he like listens and processes, and it's supposed to be because he's a poet and knows language well. Like, it's explained way better in the book than it is in the movie.
But in the movie, there is a dope scene where he's culminated all of his knowledge of like everything he just broke down to like figure out their language, and then he can like. There's this cool scene in the movie where they're all at campfire, and he finally understands them because the movie does start off with them speaking like a Norse language, and then it's implied that the Arabic that the guy's speaking is the English that you're hearing, and when it goes to night and he's finally able to hear them, he hears them just talking shit to each other, and it's a cool kind of like ball busty scene where he's like
probably some smoke-colored camp girl.
Yeah.
Looked like that one's mother.
yeah,
And he's like, my mother was a pure woman from a noble family, and at least I know who my father is.
you
You
pig.
pig-eating son of a whore. And then they all like bomb rush him, and the
Fucking
guy we
Miller.
like, who I already forgot his name again,
Herger.
Herger.
It's
He's
right
like,
there.
Where did
Herger
you
the
learn
Joyce.
where did you learn our language? And then a acting marvel, Antonio Banderas goes, I listened.
In the most Spanish
Yeah, I
accent.
know.
God.
It's just, it sounds like he's gonna roll his R, but there's no R to roll.
They got close enough to each other's faces to have Eskimo kisses.
Yeah.
It's kind of hot, to be
He's
honest.
like, oh, you ate the turkey wrap? Yeah, it was good.
Am I moving on now?
Yep, sorry.
All right, so where are so they just where are they?
They just touched tips, and Antonio Banderas can speak Norse now.
All right, so they began they just began the sail over now, right?
Yeah, so they're in the fog, and they're trying to find where the land is, and they just kill like 6 fishermen shooting random flaming arrows towards the land so they can see where it...
Yeah, they're just spitballing, trying to find where land
Just
is.
screaming Odin's name,
Screaming
firing rogue
Odin.
arrows.
Yeah. Oh, Dan! some dude like, oh, I'm gonna go get some fish for breakfast. Fuck!
We're under attack. So they finally show up on land. They throw a sword at Banderas. He's like, nah,
I
I
cannot
can't
swing this.
Yeah, I can't swing this. And they were like, get good, GG.
Yeah, quit being a bitch.
And
Grow stronger.
What month did this take place in?
Toyotathon.
Toyotathon.
it happened in Thrextobuary, dude. Because they said there was 13 months and they needed a warrior. For
Oh, it's
all
probably
13.
Rocktober.
Rocktober, yeah, it's definitely Rocktober.
Rocktober works too.
Yeah, their months were sponsored by WEBN.
Yeah, dude. ABC Families, 31 Days of Halloween, or whatever.
It's just when they said 13 months, it made me think like who was left out. You know what I mean? And and how did it come to that decision? Why were they like, we don't like this month the most. We got to get rid of this.
Well, the
one.
Christians denied Thuxtoberon. They stopped. They got rid of Thuxtobuary because they were going to worship Thuxtoberon.
The Christians were like, we can't keep no Toyotathon in our calendar. That's Japanese.
I feel it.
We only buy American.
If it was Chevy Tober, we'd be on board.
Forduary.
Dude, your outfit should come with a "We Only Buy American" T-shirt.
Hey, I got a Bud Light. I ate KFC.
Dude, we're crushing BLs and eating KFC. Yeah, dude, let's go.
By the way,
Homeless
man,
is white trash is your blood.
give me one of those dad waters real quick.
I got you,
One of those
in the
dad
fridge?
waters.
bro. Bring them out the fridge. What are you doing?
Got 'em, baby.
Yeah, get them out the
I got
fridge.
you.
Keep it rolling, boys.
So
What
yeah,
happened
they
next?
get to land, and they're looking, and they see tracks heading up, and they're like, a rider well fed on a light mount. He's like, a woman? He's like, a herald, a silk swaddled messenger boy. And then they see the herald, and he's like, who the fuck are you guys? And they're like, we're here to help Wolfgar's dad, King Hrothgar, or whatever.
Yeah.
Rothgard's dope.
Yeah,
That's the name
we
of the
missed
Great Hall in
Wolfguard,
Beowulf.
dude.
Yeah. And then, they go and they talk to him, and they're like, what the fuck is, why is everybody dead? Like, as they're going up to, like, the Great Hall, they're like, barely a man between 15 and 50. Couldn't keep a cow out of this place, because, like, all the defenses are, like,
The town is absolutely fucking ravaged.
Yeah, it looks like dog shit.
It looks like a
literally
night
looks
after
like
Luke
there's-
Young came to town, dude.
And you find out that it's being ravaged by people that look like wolves, like
Bears.
No, they
yeah,
don't.
bears. That's another piece of the way that they
The
do the
Vendo.
costume designs and the set pieces when they break into the fucking thing, because they're overrun at night, right? They break in.
They fucking kiss you gently.
Antonio Banderas and fucking Herger sitting next to each other, and Herger passes Antonio Banderas a sword in the night, and he's just like, "But I'm not a warrior." And he's like, "You will be
in a
soon."
few minutes, you will be.
Yeah, and then
And they're all laying in a circle at the very center of the Great
All right,
Hall.
so that's the night after they say get
After the
introduced to the
battle.
king, or
am I
talking
skipping
to
ahead?
Yeah,
My
yeah,
bad.
so they get
That's a little
introduced to
dark.
they get introduced to the king, like, that they were sent to help, and they find out that, like, they keep telling him like it's the glowworm, which is like a dragon.
Yeah.
And they're like, has anyone seen one? Has anyone seen one in 100 years? And they're like, oh, it used to be all over the north up here. Like, it's just all nonsense. And then
pulling their dicks out and shit.
Gradually later, you find out that the glowworm is just lighting the forest on fire.
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of cavalry carrying torches, but it looks dope as fuck. So, they decide like, well, they always come in the mist, and he's like, oh, there'll be mist tonight. So they all go to like the most remote of the buildings, the first one they'll come across to get into the village, and they all lay down and sleep there. Like they're at the feast before, they're all covering their cups when the lady comes around with mead. Like, you want a drinking night? No, we do not drink tonight.
They're gonna fuck shit up
because they all stay sober, and then they're all just laying in a circle pretending to be asleep.
Dude, I'm getting hyped just thinking about this. This movie rules so
you
hard.
notice, like, when it pans to them, they're all laying on the ground. They're all in their armor still. They're all holding their swords and shit like that.
But they're pretending to snore.
And Antonio Banderas is looking around like, what the fuck is going on right now?
They actually wake him up, and he sits up like, what? And they push him back down like, lay down.
A quick beat. How good does the armor look, too?
Yeah,
like,
they used, like, real shit.
Yeah, you were saying they had a museum-style fucking piece
Cardboard.
that they rented out. Yes.
No vacuum tables in the production of this one.
Yeah, dude. I can't remember what thing I was watching, but there was something they were talking about, like the insurance on all the shit they got.
I'm so sad this movie didn't make money because it deserved an entire Lord of the Rings style trilogy. The way that it looked, the way that the entire environment felt. If they just would have waited 10 more years to make this movie, this would have been as big as Gladiator, as big as
Hold
Lord
on,
of the Rings.
dude. They're remaking everything nowadays. It might be coming
I don't
down
want
the
them to
pipeline.
remake this.
I don't think Michael Crichton will let him.
No.
I think he still owns all that shit.
All right.
But yeah, like that period of like fantasy style films or like ancient films and stuff like that from the 90s was always so fucking cool because they couldn't fake it with CGI and shit. Like you wanted to make Braveheart and have a fucking wall of Scottish warriors, you had to get a bunch of dudes on horseback and put them in like period accurate costumes, and it looked like real.
It looks so good
because it is.
It looks so good when they do it that way. Let's we're getting ahead of ourselves because we'll get to the scene that we were both probably thinking of, but so they're sitting there, laying there. They do the piece of dialogue that Lloyd just did. Then
he goes, when they come, we all meet in the center with our backs together, like basically form a circle to fight everybody off. Antonio Banderas gets fucking murked by one of the dudes when they break in. He scratches him across the face with a big bear paw, like breaks his nose, leaves lines all across his face. But you see him like actually gut the guy, like kill him. And everyone else like fucks a bunch of people up. A couple of guys die, and all the Ven cut their fucking heads off and take them with them. So they just find the bodies of their friends, and they're like, "There's none of them. Where are they?" Like, because they carry off all their dead.
I thought this was the night of the break-in into the hut.
Yeah,
it was the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once
Did
they
we set
break
up
in,
them breaking into the hut? We didn't talk about that scene yet, though.
Oh, like yeah.
So after he hands him the sword and says that you will be soon, then 1 second later they kick in the front doors of it, and that's where I was talking about with the lighting of the scene, because it's just the piercing moonlight coming in, and then it's just a straight battle, and the way that they fucking filmed it is so beautiful because there's supposed to be this like tribe of it's like ancient war tactics where like scare people into thinking that they're otherworldly beasts. So they
supposedly the Ven thought they were like each one like different tribes is associated with different animals, like so they actually thought they were part bear.
They painted themselves solid black.
So they were
with like
goofballs.
red accents, and then they've got these bear cowls on or whatever the fuck with the bear teeth coming out. But the way they film it looks like they're fighting werewolves the entire time.
Yeah, that's wild.
And you get the sense of the way that an ancient warrior would have in a battle of like, fuck, we're fighting supernatural beasts right now. We're fighting like. And like I thought for a second it was actual werewolves because there's one scene where they hack off an arm and it falls down and it's like that's a bear hand and it's like oh they've hacked it off of one of the robes that they're wearing, but it wasn't immediately apparent because of the way that they filmed it. And there's a couple scenes when they go up against it, instead of showing the guy's face they show the top of the bear's fucking the tunic with the bear's teeth and shit, and it looks like it's slaying a bear, and I'm like. And then they're carrying the heads out of the hut like after they fucking hack dudes' heads off and just like walking away with like whole heads of guys with beards just bleeding everywhere. I was like, oh, Slayer, what the fuck? Yes, this is so dope.
And the Ven, the guys that are attacking that look like bears, they have like clubs and staffs with like bear paws on the end with the claws out. So like when they hit people, it like looks like they got swiped by a bear.
They must have been actually hitting people during this set. They
it
had
looked
to have been
great.
at least
yeah,
kind of hitting people
For
a little
sure.
bit. People were leaving with bruises on that. And if you were in that cast, you had a couple bruises. After
Yeah,
every
it was
scene.
it was wild watching the movie because there was multiple times where like you could see the actors and you could tell it's not a double.
Dog.
Like they're
Listen,
actually
they
doing
got
some
some-
of that
There's a
shit.
bunch of nerds in that mix. If you don't think there's not one nerd in there that's just like, I really am fucking Ragnar. There's someone in there.
Yeah, they just
really
got- they actually
there's
just got
someone who's getting really annoyed at that specific nerd. Like, he keeps fucking hitting me way too fucking hard.
Yeah, they just got a bunch of fucking Icelandic LARPers.
Yeah, I'm guaranteed. I mean, that's probably the cheapest way to go about it is like, hey, y'all nerds want to dress up and be in this movie?
That dude on the cast for sure got the soap party from Full Metal Jacket afterwards or whatever.
Yeah.
It's in the middle
You're
of the night.
hitting me too hard.
They just beat
All right,
the
bitch.
shit out of him with a bag of soap. Keep going. So after they're dragging all the heads off into the middle of the night, and they almost got their fucking balls kicked in. They got their balls kicked to the roofs of their mouth, even knowing that they were coming.
The 13 warriors are now 11.
Yeah.
And the heads are missing from the dead guys.
Yeah.
And all the bodies of the people they killed are missing.
Yeah.
Because the Ven always take their dead away, which they throw into big bone pits which we find later on.
Right.
Going forward.
So they're big salty about that loss.
That's
Right.
actually what they said in the dialogue.
Yeah, dude, yeah, we're big
like,
dumb
man,
salty
that
over
fucking
this, bro.
sucked hella dick,
No cap,
dude.
I'm big salty about this.
Hey, but this new sword I'm about to make is gonna be bussin'. So like they're working on the defenses, because
Yeah, the 13 warriors come in like, hold on, guys, your fucking town's fucked up. Let's make this actually
Yeah.
defendable.
yeah, this is like I could take this entire place single handedly. Like we need at least like a gate. Like there ain't no guards out here.
Is what Luke said to himself in the middle of the movie in his head.
And so they were like, all right, bet. So they so they started chopping up like wooden pikes and shit to like lay in front of like roads and gate pathways and whatnot. And in the middle of this, Antonio Banderas is looking like a complete fucking moron.
Trying to swing this giant heavy ass sword that he can't manage.
It's because it's bigger than his fucking torso.
Also, boys, we're 18 minutes in the movie and we're 31 minutes into the podcast.
Well, fucking, it's gonna be a long one if it's a long one.
I'm fine with it. We'll make this hour and 45-minute movie into a 3-hour podcast. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
We'll,
All right, well,
God,
here,
we're gonna be
it's
digging.
going to pick up here anyway because like we've done the setup stuff.
Yeah.
So after that night, they get back and like trying to regroup. And, they know they're going to come back and attack again, so they build all the defenses, blah blah blah, get everybody ready. Have all like the women up in the top with fucking bows and arrows and spears and shit to throw, and do
have
everything
the
they can
children
do.
throw glass bottles at them as they
Yeah.
run by.
So the Ven come and attack again, and they fight them off, but they fuck up a whole bunch of people and set a bunch of shit on fire. And so the whole time, like the king's son, the prince, is like plotting against the dudes.
Scheming.
So as they're building all the defenses, the little dude that everybody likes, he's like, "All right,
Herger.
I got this." So he goes and he picks a fight with the biggest dude that's like the prince's friend.
Like prison gang shit.
Yeah.
Find the biggest dude, fuck him up.
And they do like the duel where they have 3 shields and whatever. So he ends up fucking the dude up. Why the deception? Well, the deception is the point. Any fool can calculate strength. Now they have to calculate what they can't see.
He's saying this to Antonio Banderas, who's like worried about him the entire time.
Like, why aren't you stopping?
Everybody's
He's going to
holding him
die."
back. Yeah, because it's like, and it's very obvious little dude's gonna win, but like,
Yeah.
the entire thing is a mind fuck to like scare them into thinking that like, oh, now they have to worry about the shit that they didn't know was coming and shit like that. It's a whole Sun Tzu fucking Art of War like little mind trickery situation that's going on, and like Antonio Banderas finally gets at the end, but he did run in there like he's this gay lover, like, no, not the cock that I suck at night.
Yeah, he
no.
like barely knows this dude at all, and he's
You
like,
fools.
"Don't let him die." Like, what the fuck?
They
Like, you
traveled
know, like-
together for months. He
Well,
learned
they
his
didn't say it-
language.
They didn't say it. In the
He
movie.
listened.
Listen, you sleep with 12 other dudes and you find the right dick, you're gonna fucking stand up for it.
That's right.
That's just you
Yeah.
just summarized Jesus.
You think Jesus was blowing dudes? Anyway,
Yeah.
back to
Dude,
the movie.
Are you saying Judas
Walked
didn't
around with
turn
12
him
dudes
out?
all the time.
Judas didn't turn him
How do you
out?
not blow a few of them?
Yeah, come on now.
Judas was the narc.
Yeah, he probably
Took the
didn't get
money and
blowies.
left, yeah.
What if it was all about the 30 pieces of silver was Judas narking on Jesus for blowing dudes?
Judas got too much teeth.
But Judas had to hang himself because he was also blowing dudes and he didn't feel right about it.
That's actually
I
how
cast
he
out
met,
my gay brethren.
That's how he met Jesus. He was like, you could be a sucker of cock, or you could. Or you could suck my cock.
He was resurrected to
It was
blow
the Fisher
dudes.
of Men line, but sucking dick instead. Yeah.
That's how Jesus gives salvation. He just blows you.
That's what he tells you.
That's how he cured leprosy.
He tells you that, and then you get done, and you're like, well, fucking...
Yeah, Jesus went to that island and fucking cleaned up.
Yeah, it's that Jim Jeffries joke where it was like, yeah, as little kids, my friends, we'd blow each other, but then like an older kid was like, yeah, you blow me, then I'll blow you, and then I blew him, and then he came in my mouth, and he's like, haha, you're gay, and I ran off, and I was like, no, Jesus, come on, I was looking for the.
What the?
I thought you were promising me salvation. And that's why the priest molest little boys. Anyways, back to the movie.
Jesus just makes him blind.
We figured it out.
Find him anymore. Ah!
Yeah, blinded him with a nut
He
shot.
only, resurrected Lazarus because Lazarus had like solid dome game.
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh
losing
man, I
this
gotta get
fucking
another whack
piece.
at that mouth.
They're like, you gotta head on over to Jerusalem, Jesus. There's this guy named Lazarus that's sucking mean cock, and he was like, I'm on my way. He finally got there, and they're like, yeah, he's dead. And he was like, not on my watch.
No.
You got one more to go, buddy.
Not till I.
As he resurrected him, you just said, what that mouth do? The light comes out and he stands up like, all right.
This is all very related to the plot of the
dick
story.
in the mouth of
Would
him.
that
as
technically
he's
make
brought
him a
back to life.
necrophiliac?
Technically, yes.
No, he was alive.
Technically speaking.
It's not gay if your
I'm
balls
glad
don't
we're
touch.
getting- I'm glad we're getting technical right now.
Yeah,
It's
not
is
gay if
it
your balls don't touch.
Is it necrophilia if it was just the tip in when it was dead?
Yeah.
Great point.
But it was alive
it was.
when the rest went in, though. You know?
Great points, yes.
Ah.
Keep going.
Okay, so they the fight
So
happens.
Jesus is blowing me.
The duel happens. They murk that guy. Banderas gets inspired. He makes his fucking stupid sword into a scimitar himself because the blacksmith was like, I'm not fucking making your stupid ass shit.
But then the warriors start losing their strength for a minute, and they're like, oh, we're not going to be able to feed. And then, like a miracle in the distance, a little boy appears, and they're like, get your horses, we can fuck a boy! And they just start galloping to go fuck this
they were
little boy.
all so excited to find this little boy.
They were
He's
so
back on the menu,
they were way
boys.
too they were way too stoked to fucking see this little boy in a field.
They
They're like,
were
get him, boys.
ecstatic.
So they drag him back to like to the last little like outlying town that they attacked. Mm-hmm. And they find like corpses and shit with no heads, but a bunch of them like have bite marks on them and shit.
On their nipples.
Antonio Banderas is like fucking puking over the side rail while the giant dude's got a bow and arrow, and he's like, don't step in front of me. It's like, I don't think you have to tell him that.
It's kind of implied.
Yeah, it's gonna imply with a giant arrow you're holding, sir.
I like how that guy acts like that bow and arrow is like a fucking gun. Like, it might just go off.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
can't,
have you
like,
ever
just
held a
let
bow
go.
drawn? Like
Yeah, dude, it fucking sucks.
Yeah,
Hold
I
my
have
shit
one.
pulled back before.
Arms
a long
start
time.
shaking like,
Oh, so y'all are weak? Okay, let's move on.
This is unrelated, but I'm glad that Luke made sure to secure his sunglasses with his little rope so that they weren't going anywhere.
I had to add the extra stupid.
What kind of heavy winds are going on in Lloyd's apartment right now that you have to fucking
Well,
see?
this
You
is
had
what
to
I wanted to happen.
bat
Could you
down
see
those-
the dangles?
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I didn't even consider the dangles.
The dangles is what I wanted.
All right. Little dangly boy. Little dangly
right.
boy situation. I like it.
All right, so they make the scimitar, right?
Don't do that.
Skimmy tar.
You
The
stop with that
all
right now.
So they made the simi. And, and they were like, nah, they're creatures. And Banderas was like, nah, bros, they're dudes. And they were like, so that means if
oh,
they're...
we skipped a dope ass line too. Like after they all are in that hut together or whatever, he's like, there must be demons. And Bulba's like, their blood looks real enough.
All right, so they're like, they're not just demons, they're dudes. And they're like, all right, let's find where out these dudes live. If they're dudes, they got a place to sleep, and we can find where they sleep. And so they started exploring, right? They're looking around, and this guy who's out doing reconnaissance, once they get to like the border of these evil people's land, it's got like a bunch of bear skeletons and stuff, and like scarecrows. They're like, hey, did you happen to see like a cave when
Is
you were
there a
out there?
cave?
And he was like, a matter of fact, there was a cave. And that's exactly where the bad guys were.
Because Antonio Banderas figured it all out. He's like, how do you hunt a bear in winter? With spears. You go into its cave. He's like, is there a cave? And they find a cave.
Instantly. So they find the cave. Was it that fast in the book?
The first
too? Do you
cave that they
remember?
tried, the very first cave that
First
they
one.
found, they were like, "Yep, that's the secret hideout."
Well,
Well, I
actually,
mean, they
all
had
the
tracks leading right to it.
Yeah.
The caves were all rented out to other families.
And they had giant idols and shit with bear skulls on it and stuff. Like, don't come to our cave. And like, we're going to go to your cave.
Yeah. Why do they need Antonio Banderas to be smart in that situation? Like, how about we just follow the hoof prints? Like,
Because he gets paid more
There's
money.
a whole army. They just
Because they had
follow.
to justify him being in the goddamn movie.
It's been raining for 60 days. I think there's a very obvious path that you're gonna find in the mud.
So they go into the cave, right? And it's stealth mode. They put on the silencers. They drop the fucking binos. They're scoping the place out. It's siphon filter in this bitch, and they're solid snake, man, Pliskin. And so they're like crawling on the ground. I don't know how any of these hundreds of cave peoples didn't see these. How many of them?
Yeah,
are
it was like
time?
middle of the day. They were all just like sleeping, but like vicariously throughout the cave. Like,
Yeah,
on the
Sure,
steps
they were
and-
sleeping,
hibernating
but
like
there was a
bears.
bunch of people hanging out up against the wall, like eating out of skulls and stuff. Like
Yeah.
there was enough people alive to be like, hey, there's like a group of men, like army
What are
crawling
those dudes over there?
in the middle of the room right now.
I think some dude just fell off the waterfall.
Hey, did you see that?
Hey, what was that metallic clank of the giant fucking
And Antonio Banderas going, oh!
But there was the waterfall. I thought the same thing, but I was like, the waterfall is probably loud as fuck.
It probably was.
Was
That
that
was a lot of
loud as
water.
Was that guy busting as he fell off the waterfall?
Oh, yeah.
Just like accidentally rubbed his dick on the rope as he fell.
Antonio Banderas gets really overstimulated.
The entire film. Yeah. So they
The
get
rubbing of that heavy armor. How could you not?
Oh, you forgot the part with the old lady. Right before they go to look
Oh,
for the
yeah,
cave,
yeah,
yeah.
there's
You
a
stupid
there's a
bitch.
weird ass old lady who's all cracked out and she's laying down in some hut. And they're just like, what do we do to figure out what to go to find these motherfuckers? And then they like give her the big titty idol. And like
Oh, that's
one
right.
of the bear
The
guys drops his
titty
idol
idols.
in like the little like lodge where they found him all the dead bodies and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like a fertility idol. It's got like a big belly and big old titties. And they hand it to her, and she's like, "My grandmother that was younger than me 5 million years ago knows all exactly about this."
Dude, he nailed the dialogue perfect.
Yeah, and then and then she's like, "You have to find the queen or
It's
whatever."
like they're of the earth. Look for them in the earth. And, like anyone probably should have figured out.
Yeah.
Is there a cave? Yeah. So now we're caught back up to them
now-
being in the
yeah.
cave.
So they were going to the cave to kill the big titted lady.
Didn't they find a dead one? And then everybody was like, look, it's
Let's
Garth
have our
Maul.
fun.
No, they killed one like on the outskirts. And then like
It was
painted
a
up-
long-haired Darth Maul.
Yeah, it was weird. They had straight up Darth Maul paint.
We also forgot like you guys get like figuring out why I like the movie. Like Bullseye just
complete
constantly like
disregard for human life.
But
Bro, there's
this guy may
const-
die. It is probable.
There's scenes where they're just like, hey, fucking Hogar died. And they're like, moving on. Like, it's like they didn't just like spend like 2 decades with Hogar.
Like when Lloyd's grandpa died and it was like, are we not doing a podcast? No, we're for sure doing a podcast.
That was my
now.
grandma.
So insensitive.
Actually, my grandpa was later. So yeah,
So
we
they
did
fu-
both of those.
they fucking snake Pliskin. They siphon filter. They fucking make their way. They fucking boogie woogie downtown. Deus Ex. Fucking Aeon
Witcher
Flux.
3.
All right, we got
Fucking
enough references,
Assassin's
fellas.
Creed. So they make their way downtown.
Titanfall 2.
So, anyways, they climb through the cave and they use
Call
a
of
rope to
Duty
get
Modern
behind.
Warfare 3. So they make their way down the waterfall using some rope down this spiral staircase. It looks like, and I don't know how any of like the along the wall, because they're going down what I can imagine is the middle, and there's a walkway along the outside. I don't know how these people that are just sitting on the side of this walkway, by the way, aren't seeing any of these.
Or
people
how
on the
they
rope.
how they built stairs.
Yeah.
It wasn't stairs.
Well,
Where are you
no
guys
water
getting
and
stairs?
erosion
It looked like
made
stairs.
stairs.
was
Yeah,
just a
naturally
ramp.
God makes the stairs.
A ramp.
That's where you know where to
stairs.
live.
Either way, the fact that nature made a perfect ramp up and down anywhere is fucking amazing. So they go down this fucking cave, down the rope into the water, and they fucking put their knives in their mouth like they're gonna fucking do some crazy
Sinbad.
assassination.
Some Sinbad shit.
Right. So they climb up the water, they sneak a bit across the bridge, and then they finally get to the fucking bottom of the world tree, right?
Yeah,
and it's
there's
got
a-
like
Drastic.
skulls hanging in the roots and shit. It's got like the heads of their dead friends from earlier in the film.
Yeah, like
hanging
a
in
weird
there.
spider web made out of fucking like human skin and hair, fucking
Yeah.
just heads hanging in the middle. of it.
Hogar's head and big dick is just hanging in the fucking roots. And they finally find the woman, the big titty, breasted, and belly
The big
woman
titty breasted
idol.
woman.
And she fucking
Which Luke was very disappointed with the size of her
because
breast.
she ain't
The
have
big
no
titty
titties.
breasted booby
If
woman.
you're gonna sit around and throw around business cards, all right, like, hey,
The fertility idols
I'm
they
the
wore was the
fucking-
business
The
card.
Triple B needs to investigate
I'm the
because
fucking-
this is some false advertising going on here, sir.
I'm the big tittied queen of the bear people. Come find me if you want to join the clan. And you go meet the big titty bear woman, and she's not rolling with a bear, but instead a reptilian. Pick your team.
I like that Luke, amongst all the human heads and skull decorum, he's more worried about the false
Well, no, that's
advertising
pretty
of the
neat.
idol.
No,
You
I'm
know
with
what I
him.
mean?
No, I'm with him. You tell me there's gonna be big
It was
titties,
neat.
and then fucking.
And there was no titties.
Yeah, what's happening here? This seems like bullshit.
Right,
I want
so- my
my money back.
She's got a guard who's got a big club. He's a big, strong guy. The leader, Bulvier,
Bulvi.
he fucking slays him. One hit
Bullwinkle.
kill. Fucking Bullwinkle takes him down like everybody else has one hit kill against every other enemy. However, the witch doctor, the Wendell mother, Yolandi Bavan.
Wait, which doctor?
The Wendell mother. Oh, Susan Willis
Wait,
plays her.
which doctor was it?
The witch doctor, yes.
Which doctor?
Yep.
I hate you.
And so,
Who's on first?
Yeah,
I hate you so much.
God damn it.
and so they
at least you got it.
he has a crazy weird standoff battle with her, and she's wearing like this 2-fingered glove.
She's got like a weird coke nail sticking out.
Yeah,
that she
yeah,
dips in,
dipped
she
in
dips in
poison.
some
It's like
neurotoxin.
a bear claw is just like she's got strapped to her fingertips. And
She nicks him. She's the only one out of like this onslaught of enemies to finally like land a blow on this guy.
and then he lowers her ears, cuts that bitch's head right off.
Slices her instantaneously after he gets his cut.
Nah, dude, I wouldn't have let her land a blow on me with them weak ass titties. Come on, dude.
Dude, there's so much space in between you and her without them titties there. There's like, did you see the
You ain't
idol?
getting no blows.
There's at least G's on that idol. You know what I'm saying? It was disgusting how much false advertising.
There's some
was
fat
in this
boulders that they use for the
It was
for
fucking
the idol.
stupid.
Yeah, it was.
It also didn't have a head, which is kind of foreshadowing.
Right.
Well, because she's obviously the butterface. She's trying to keep that. No, I'm just kidding. So they have the duel. He kills the Wendell mother. They come on out the
But she poisons him in the
She
process.
poisons him. Yeah, I said that. And so he stumbles out of the cave after the battle, and they're like, "Hey, fucking Bulvi, fucking what
When
happened?"
was the part when the little guys threw the ring in the volcano? Was that? Do we skip that part?
There was
This later.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Keep going.
It's like the third one.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's
We got more movies to watch to get there.
it's. I was like, when
It's
did
like
I
the
would
third one.
legitimately miss that was a Lord of the Rings reference. I was like, when was there a volcano? And they threw a little guy in there.
I'm glad I didn't get nothing on it. Thank you for saving my bacon there, buddy.
I was like, hold the phone.
Because I
missed
know
the
Lloyd will
little
let me
dude.
sit in it. Lloyd will let me sit in it knowing what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least-
You
at
have
least
to
gave me
yes
something.
and.
Thank you.
You have to yes and. Come
Yeah,
on.
but there's a fun part of yes anding where you just do a hard no.
Somebody that's watching, look at his face right now. Somebody look at his face right now and then tell me that he shouldn't be yes-anding right now, please. Look at how we're all dressed. Yes and, you fuck.
You said we weren't going to address it.
I
It was
didn't even
addressed
do
at
it.
the
You're
beginning
you're
of the
getting mad over a thing
episode.
I didn't even
It was
fucking
a-
do.
y'all
I'm talking about his
ruined it.
Atari t-shirt. What are we addressing?
You all ruined it at the
guy with
beginning of
Atari-
the film, anyways. But
No, a guy with an Atari t-shirt should be yes-anding. What did I
so
say?
So after the duel, they're like, we need to get out of here. We need to make a break for it. And so like, we got to go down. It's the only way. So they keep going down into the cave, and they're stuck. They're trapped in this little room with some water, and it's bubbling. And they're like, oh, all right. So we'll fight them in twos, in groups of
And then
twos.
George
And when
Clooney
we
and
get
Brad
tired,
Pitt
we'll
show up.
fucking tag out.
George Clooney and Brad Pitt show up in the Ocean's 11
And so
escape plan.
Banderas is
Little
like,
Asian guy pops out of a trash can. They're like, "Can we
Matt
get you
Damon comes
here?"
out of the water. He's like, "You guys, we got to go down here. We got to get this way out of the water. We got to get out to the ocean."
Actually, all he says is that's what's
damn it.
implied, but all he actually says is Matt Damon.
There's a bunch of fucking firemen outside. We got to go swim outside right now. It's going to save us.
Getting pussy for the first time in the history of fire or pussy.
so
But yeah, they get out of the cave. They swim underwater.
they get out of the cave, they swim underwater. They make it to shore, obviously, because it skips to them, like, dried off and whatnot, making their way back home. And they're home
Making
now.
their way downtown.
And they're like, That's my second reference. And so they make it back home, and Banderas is like, so what's the dealio? Like, what's going on? We won, right? We killed the mother. And
he's like, you like apples? How do you like them apples?
The hot chick fucks him in hay.
Hergers is like, oh yeah, dude, he fucking pipes. Wait, that was after the last battle,
no,
though,
we
right?
kind of skipped it, so I just
Yeah,
throw it back in there.
When does he solve the professor's equation, and then the professor finds him, and
Let him
he's
say
just a
it.
janitor?
All right, so he's like, so what's the plan now? What's going on? He's like, well, they're probably going to attack us again. They still got the leader. We killed the mother, but they still have the male figurehead. So they're probably going to come, like, tonight. You know what I mean?
That's when he's like, you messed with the wrong bull, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as he says that, it's getting old. And so it's getting old.
Oh, that reminds me of the next part that's coming.
And so they space it out, and they're like...
Oh, space.
And so they...
That's when Rick Moranis shows
It's
up.
like as soon as as soon as he finishes that line, they hear horns, and they're like, "Psych, nah, we're attacking right the fuck now. We followed you right back to your home."
But there's no fog, and it's daytime.
No
this time.
fog, daytime. It's fucking. It's on
Antonio
site.
Banderas needs to pray.
It's on site. They killed the titty mother. It's on site. They're done hiding underneath the cover of darkness,
Yeah, he takes
So
his
they
he
pull
takes his
up.
boots
Takes
off.
his
He
boots
faces
off in the
Mecca.
mud.
and he starts,
just starts
praying in Nordic. For some reason, because Herger understood him the whole time. He had
Yeah, you would think if you were going to address your God, you'd speak your God's
in your
language.
native. Yeah, so
What, y'all think gods can't be fucking bilingual, trilingual?
I don't know.
I had
Actually,
imagined
wait,
doing
no,
a.
it's implied that the language that's heard by you is English because that's Arabic, but then later on, English is also the language that you hear for Nordic, so it could also be Arabic.
Yeah.
So he is speaking Arabic.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I
then
was. That's what I was.
maybe
implying by
Herger
saying
figured out how
did
to speak
Herger
Arabic.
understand?
He listened.
Yeah, he did. He listened.
I doubt it.
That's the implication.
Joyous people don't listen. They're just hanging out. They're just hanging out. So
I don't know what the fuck that means.
they're joyous. So
It's Herger the Joyous. Keep going.
I got that.
and so the battle begins. They're like Bullwinkle is in bad shape. He's poisoned. He's not gonna make it through the night. And they're
It's
like,
a small match.
you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna power through this battle anyways. Get the defenses ready. Let's get going.
Tis a small matter of pointing at his own penis.
And so the bad guys pull up on the mountainside, and they're
glad you
rolling
did that?
like 5,000 deep, maybe
I don't know if
8.
it was that much.
Maybe what?
Probably
There
more
was
like
a lot.
300
Dude,
guys.
that scene probably cost like $10,000 though.
Yeah.
All right. Either way, 300.
In the middle of the movie, the coolest possible scene comes out. It's all well lit in the darkness. There's a fucking lake in front of them, a destroyed village. All the horses come with torches. I'm like, that's gotta cost at least $10,000. The whole room erupted with how dumb I was.
It's clearly
Damn,
like
Cody.
it's clearly like the most expensive scene in the whole
Like
fucking
hand-
movie.
It was
Man.
like, yeah, dude, they won a fucking scratch off ticket. They were like, we can film the horse tour scene now.
We can turn the lights off. And so the bad guys show up. The battle commences for all of like 20 minutes. Fucking 300 bad guys, 5,000. It doesn't matter because Bullwinkle puts down like 3. Herger puts down like 5. Banderas puts down like 30 of them because he
Super
was on
Boromir
like a
gets fucked
fucking
up.
yeah. He gets fucked up.
Yeah, parts of the 13 are falling left and right.
It's a bunch of slow motion.
It's
scenes.
like 6 dudes against like 500.
And it's over in 15 minutes. They call it quits after the bad guys lose like 12 of their own.
After fucking Bullfight fucking power slams dude off his fucking horse.
Yeah,
And
which
then
was
fucks
so
him up.
dope.
Yeah, it was a fucking great scene.
Yeah, the
Poisoned
king
by
guy dude
snake
has
and
these giant
everything.
horns on his like
The horns of
bare
power.
head. And like sticking out real far.
And he gets put down with the quickness.
yeah. And then they all run off like little bitches.
Yeah, and they run away after the
Even though they could
12-minute fight.
easily decimate like the 6 dudes
There
left.
was, yeah, there's 4 guys left. Get them. Get them,
Right?
boys.
They're like,
What are you
no.
scared of?
The rest of them are like, nah, dude, we just were here because he got mad that his fucking
Yeah, we're
gash
going back
got
to the
fucking
cave.
Yeah, they're gonna
decapitated.
They're gonna
Like,
go home and they're gonna make a new witch lady.
They're like, yeah, let's all go back. Now one of us gets to wear a horny
It's all
powers
dudes.
or-
How are they going to make it? They killed the big titty girl. It's
No.
over. They're going
There
to
were
fuck.
other
There were other
women
girls,
there.
yeah.
All right. Okay.
So
Missed
they're
that
like
part.
oh
It's not
man,
bees. They're people. They're not fucking bees. They're
No, they're
human
bees.
beings.
They're
The
bees.
fuck are you talking about?
They all fucked the one.
there was
That's it. That's
only
like-
one woman.
They're bear people. I don't know if
How do you-
bears procreate. I thought
No,
they might
you're right.
fuck each other in
You're
their
right.
ass. And
Dude,
You're
it's
right.
like it's
You're
like the
right. They
1400s. How
only-
many babies
they
could she put out before she died? Like,
they only fucked the
Cody's
bear.
like, Do bears lay eggs?
I thought her snatch was the cage.
Could you
I thought that was
imagine
the
how big
implication.
a bear egg would be?
I also like that while we're talking about this, like I'm telling him it's a book, and Cody's like, "Well, I can't read because it puts me to sleep."
It drains all the Mountain Dew from my blood.
Yeah. God damn it. Your white trash DNA just like bled through so hard that
I swear to God, my white trash DNA keeps me from being able to read a book. Like, I could do an Audible or a podcast all day long, but as soon as I start reading, I get 2 pages in and I start heroin nodding to the floor. Like, it's fucking... Dude, it's over for me if I try to read.
it's better than Xanax, baby.
But if there's pictures, dude, I'm in. Let's go.
Trying to read in the park and a cop comes up and tries to arrest you. Like, no, I was just reading. I'm not doing drugs. I was just reading.
No, I'm trying to read in my car and somebody tries to Narcan me. I'm just nose first in a book. They're like, we gotta save him.
Cody joins a book club and gets Narcan once a week.
Like the Narcan's not working.
The Narcan is just Baja Blast, though.
Fuck.
They just IV fucking code red into you.
We've got a pulse.
Got the
We have
bag
a
and
pulse.
everything,
You
like,
don't
squeeze the
know
bag.
how accurate you are.
I know.
I swear to God, it's half my fucking liquid intake is code red.
Oh, fuck.
And it looks like blood. Because it's red.
That's a plus. So
Yeah.
after the
I was
battle,
making myself sit in that one.
fucking Herger and Banderas look at each other all romantically, glad that they both survived the night so they can spend one more together. And they're like, oh, fuck, let's go link up with the boys. And they find the boys all huddled up around fucking Bullwinkle. Bullwinkle died right after the battle, sitting on like a wooden chair in front of like these the barriers they made with
He
his
looks-
sword planted in the
he
ground.
looks sick on that chair,
He looks
too.
like a fucking dead king with his
eyes
eyes
are
wide open.
He's got blood on half his face, big long
Fucking
hair.
big ass dog sitting in his
Yeah,
foot.
he
Dude,
jammed his big fucking sword in the ground right next to him, so it's just sitting there, sticking up out of the ground.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. I want to fucking paint that scene. Like, just watching him, like, while you can see, and even the extras actors that are in the background seem like they just watched their king die. I'm just like, everything that they did on this movie was so fucking good. We've just been retelling the plot. We'll go into the rest of this after we finish. You're almost done. You're almost done. Keep going.
So after the king dies, they're like, man, that sucks. And then, I mean, that basically is the
That's
ending,
pretty
'cause
much
the
the movie.
ending is like wrapped up after that.
And then he
It's like,
hops on a boat to go
and they
report back of whatever he learned.
And
as a
that's the
bastard.
end.
The other land where everyone goes when they need to rest or whatever.
So let's do this.
With Gandalf and Arwen and
they're
everything.
going to Numenor. No one knows that anymore.
Let's
He
do this.
leaves going by the name Thomas Underhill.
Let's do this.
gonna go
You
look
two
for
are
Tom
obviously
Bombadil.
the guys that have seen this movie the most. Nick Glavin's the one that asked us to watch this, and then Lloyd was stoked. It seems like Lloyd's probably seen this more.
Yeah, no, I only saw it one time.
Let's do this
before.
for you two. First time that you guys were introduced to the movie.
I just saw it at like a video store on fucking VHS.
No,
All right.
I thought I brought it up too. It was at the library. My family got. It from
Oh
the
yeah,
library. We watched
we
it all
did this
together.
at the beginning. But what made you watch it so many fucking 1,000 times?
Because I had read the book.
You had read it beforehand.
Yeah.
Well, the first time I saw it, I didn't realize it was based off a Michael Crichton book. I thought it was just a standalone movie, but that makes sense why it was so good.
He's the guy who invented Peeps, right?
That's him.
Yeah,
Michael
Yeah.
Crichton?
Yes.
show. That's the end.
Is he the guy that put the dick vein in Snickers?
What's you guys' favorite scenes of the movie?
Me, it's not a scene. It's just how they did it. Where like, so it's a group of Vikings, and the Raiders were always like, if they went somewhere and were like fucking up a town, and somebody was a really good fighter, they would just like take them with them. Like, all right, you're just one of us now. We'll kill everyone you've ever known. Either join us or get fucked.
Yeah.
So like, as you look at the group, there's a guy with like the Scottish woad across his fucking face.
Dude with a gladiator helmet.
Yeah, there's a dude who's got like the obvious like gladiator style shit. The guy who's in like the conquistador armor.
Yeah.
Like it shows. There's like the Franco-Prussian.
They had a clown that used bowling pins as weapons.
Yeah. It was actually Penn Jillette in his Mini Cooper. It's a reference to nonsense. All right. But that's what I like the most about it was they actually portrayed it the way that like that probably would have looked.
Nick Glavin, favorite scene.
I like to see when they were all laying on the floor pretending to be asleep.
That's your go-to?
Yeah, it's a cool
What
scene.
is it about the scene that you fucking love?
It just shows a side of war tactics and shit that like not a lot of people would think about. Like Vikings were dope ass warriors. They probably were put in a lot of situations and had to deal with a lot of different kind of shit that would make you build up those kind of tactics or think to do something like that.
And you're an artsy fartsy gay boy like me, so I know that you probably like how it looked, right? Like the lighting of it and stuff like that.
All that shit, man. All the practical effects, all the costumes, everything.
I love it so much, dude.
It's
I fell in love with it when I started watching it. I was like, I gotta watch this movie 20 more times.
Like everything we watch now is like so fucking polished to the max. Even in post production, they'll go in and fuck with lighting and all kinds of different shit like that. It's like when you watch those kind of movies, they do that a little bit, but they get to see like one shot if they can because it's so fucking expensive. Like the one scene where all the Wundle or whatever are coming over the hill and they have all the torches on their all horseback and everything. Like they had to film that shit with like fucking 200 dudes on horseback wearing these bear costumes,
carrying torches,
fucking torches. I don't know if you've ever ridden a horse, but I could imagine trying to hold a fucking horse steady with a bunch of other dudes riding around you holding a fucking torch above your fucking head.
It's easy.
Okay,
you just do it.
All right.
You just don't be a little bitch about it.
Yeah.
With a big stupid fucking bear like cowl on your head, you can't really see where you're going. You know?
You can if you try.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You just open up this peeper.
I don't think I like who Luke is with his hat on.
You got a strange new set of confidence out of nowhere.
I don't think I like this, Luke.
What, you gonna do something about it?
What the fuck with that answer? I don't even like that answer. What are you doing right now?
I'm gonna take my fucking hat back.
But he goes to grab the hat. He pulls his whole head with the spinal column out.
You just come back next time and Luke's in my bathtub like with rice patties.
He's gonna try to launch himself across the room like Raiden and fall right in front of your feet.
Impale himself on a microphone stand.
Fuck, man.
I think for me the best scene is the one you just described, the torchlight, and it's just one specific moment because it looks like a painting when they all come up over the hill, and then there's that little bit of water in front of them, and it's got the mirror effect, and it's super dark, and everything's lit by torchlight, and there's just like dilapidated, burned down structures around them. I'm like, this is a painting right here. Like this is just.
And they had to make that set.
It's just some eye candy to look at. I fucking love. There's so many little pieces of eye candy throughout that entire movie that I just loved.
Well,
like Herger.
Yeah, like Herger.
To add to like
he's a hot boy, dude.
If I had to pick like a specific scene, I actually just thought the duel where he has like the 3 shields and he sets up like the deception is the point.
That's a great scene. That's a phenomenal
because it shows like
scene.
we're not just. He's like any fool can calculate strength. Now they have to calculate what they can't see. Like that's making those guys smart and not just like big dum dums.
Yeah.
This is a movie that I wish that I would have seen a couple times before I watched it again this time because we were having so much fun laughing and joking around that I feel like I missed so many intrinsic plot points that I needed. I needed Lloyd several times to like pause the movie, tell me what's going on right now. I don't know what the fuck I've lost. But that's
also one of the good things about the movie is it does not handhold at all. It's just like you either are following or you're fucking out. Like,
and I love that about a movie that like takes itself so seriously that it's like, hey, pay attention from beginning to end, otherwise, fuck you. And it's maybe that's why that movie didn't make money because it was a point that Luke was making like during the film when we made that point when we were talking about it, like. Yeah, because now every movie has to, or just say your own point.
Every film nowadays has to have a touch of everything in it. It has to have comedy. It has to have some sort of like a romantic theme. It's got to have the one-liners. It also has to have. It just has elements of everything instead of just being pure to its intended material.
This is a movie for and by fat LARP dorks, and they knew how to cater.
I like
their
that
audience.
you say that as we're all wearing fucking goofy.
No, we like this movie. We're fat LARP dorks, dude. That's us. We were making Renaissance festival plans during the movie.
Yeah, that is true.
This is us. This is us at core, and they didn't try to like make it for everybody. They were like, this is for fat LARP dorks that are like jacking off to Viking shit. Like this is they knew what their target audience was. They fucking audience. Yeah, that was a great fucking way to slur through that one, Cody.
You want to nip
they
the
knew what their
fireball?
target audience was. They went for it. They nailed it. Like they didn't handhold like Lloyd said, like Luke said, and I love that. I love a movie that takes itself seriously enough to where it's like we're not going to explain shit to you. In fact, watch it twice, bitch. If it comes out new, go out to the theaters and watch it twice. And that's probably why they didn't make money on this. That's probably why they couldn't sell it.
Well, it was just 97 fucking LARP dorks that went and watched it 4 times. They followed all the way.
That's where they got that $67 million.
4 fat fucking
They
Trekkies.
just watched it that many times.
Yeah. former Trekkies that were getting into fucking J.R.R. Tolkien. It's also a John McTiernan film, and that's the dude that made Predator, like the original, the best Predator, an action movie.
And Pee-wee's Big Adventure, right?
You are one ugly motherfucker.
I couldn't tell if you were quoting Predator or just looking at me.
They both work. Either way, it holds up.
Take it however you want. I mean, it's up to you.
Wiping the tears from my eyes.
He's like, just to save my self-esteem. He was quoting a movie. Just one hand on your gut, just crying. He's quoting a movie. For sure.
McTiernan's great though. Like the practical side of, I haven't seen obviously the making of this movie, but I watched the making of Predator. And like, do you remember the scene where Schwarzenegger falls down like that hill and goes into the waterfall?
And then lastly has to go tell someone.
Yeah.
Well, they put him in the shittiest of all like hand-built roller coaster little fucking situations. They put tracks up through the fucking jungle that they're filming in, set Schwarzenegger in it, and drop him like 30 feet. Just hope that their device works.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
But like that's what makes for like the scene in Predator where he's falling feel so real. It's very real. He's falling. Like he's barely secured. And then after that scene in Predator, he grabs the thorn bush and he's like, fuck, I grabbed a thorn bush, and he's pulling thorns out of his hand. And that same level of like when you watch Predator, you're like, why does it feel like there's physical consequences even though that I know this is a movie? It's because there were. Yeah. And I think that's what happened with this movie too. Like the filming of it probably, like I said earlier in the fucking LLC,
horses died.
People fucking got hurt making this.
Definitely they did.
And it made a better movie. Practical effects, people leaving with bruises, stuntmen being used, and actors being fucking knocked upside the head on accident makes a better film.
Hollywood back in the day didn't give a fuck about actors.
At all.
Like even Alfred Hitchcock talked about actors. He said they were cattle. He hated fucking working with them. If he didn't have to work with them, he didn't want to, but he had to.
Can you imagine being a producer that needs people to make something that you love to do and being like, I don't need these people?
Yeah,
Can you be in?
Yes,
imagine
I have
being
to do
the
a bastard sermon every week.
Pretentious person ever.
Cody's like, I sit and drunkenly babble at Lloyd for hours on end to keep this thing on the rails. What are you talking about? Yeah, I completely understand what you're talking about.
Fuck.
Yes.
This guy sitting in this stupid little fucking apartment. Oh, don't put shit in the left sink.
Oh, fuck. Right. Where do we go from here? Is there any final thoughts on the film? Anything you guys wanted to say about it?
I didn't say my favorite scene.
Well, the movie's over.
My favorite scene was it's not even a scene, it's the entirety of the sequence of like their stealth assault on like finding the location and going in, and then like the consequences of being found out, killing her, and then trying to make the escape. I know like it's very different in every way, but it gave me Moria vibes. You know what I mean? They all ventured in as a crew, and it was stealth and silence, and then shit pops off, battles triggered, everyone's running to find the exit, but they don't know where it is. They're being followed by the enemy, and then they're like, we found the exit, but then wait, fucking Half Dan the Fat is like, I got stabbed earlier, I'll just stay here and fucking take the blow for all of y'all.
Was a good day.
Yeah, and they're like, no, not Half Dan, but they weren't, because fucking Banderas says bye to him, and Herger's like, what about Half Dan? He's like, he's dead. He was like, well, come this way, the exit's this way. He was like, fuck Half Dan, I don't give a shit.
Let's hold our breath for 91 minutes to swim out of this tunnel.
But yeah, they gave me Moria vibes, that whole sequence.
Yeah,
that's really
a good comparison.
Yeah,
great assessment, Kung Lao. Anybody else?
That character rules.
I was trying to find a funny name to hit you with, but I've got nothing. Yeah. You just look great.
All right, so I think, is that a wrap on the LLC?
Unless you guys have other things to say. Do you want to close it out with anything, Nick? This was your movie.
Nothing in particular. It's just a good movie.
Let's
if you like
do it
old
again.
classic fantasy,
Plug your shit. Plug your shit.
Oh, just follow me, Nick Lovin on Instagram. I work at Hybrid Image up on Clifton, Short Vine Avenue.
That's where I got most of my tattoos.
That's where I got. Nick gave me my tattoos. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
If you want to get
the Hanya mask,
you won't be able.
If you want to get tatty-gatted or whatever,
he's great.
Nick fucking kills it. He'll make you hurt. He'll play metal music the entire time.
Listen, there's a lot.
I've been on a jazz kick recently.
There's a lot of really ugly tattoo artists out there, and you got to look at these ugly motherfuckers while they're doing pieces on you for a long time, and they're fucking gross.
Who
like
are
they're
they?
really gross. You know what I'm saying?
Who are they?
But Nick is really cute.
Name one.
And he's got and he's got clear skin, and he's got a great
He's got
smile.
the best Croatian mustache you'll ever
you
fucking see.
You just sit in that chair, you get some wonderful art put on you, and you get to look at a handsome face. You don't get to do anything. He's not single, unfortunately.
Also,
but-
That's
I've
goes
got-
like half of my audience.
I haven't
right
got a lot
there.
of professional tattoos, but I like that his technique is that he sits on your chest and he's rock hard the entire time that he's tattooing.
he sat on my
That's-
chin.
He wears only chaps.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff hanging off that stool.
Thank you for doing this, man.
Yeah,
This
man.
was a lot
It
of
was a
fun.
great LLC.
I'm gonna
Let's do it
tattoo
again,
you,
dude.
dangle style.
Everybody go and check out fucking Nick Lovin at Nick Lovin, like McLovin, but Nick Lovin on Instagram, hybrid image, tattoos. Go and get a fucking tattoo by him. It's a recession, baby, but you know you need a tattoo. You know you need to look fucking sick in this post-apocalyptic Mad Max Thunderdome world. And how are we gonna look sick without a fucking Nick Lovin tattoo right on your shit? Go and check that out. Nick Glavin is the shit. I love you, buddy. 13th Warrior was awesome. No, not peace. Where's your phone?
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Same.
It's
Thank you
this
to the
is going
patrons.
on Patreon.
All right, we just want to thank each and every one of our patrons. You guys are the absolute cutest, and we're amazed that you guys continue to support us each and every motherfucking month. But we just want to go ahead and it's just taking a second longer. I could have fucking had it right on time, but fuck.
Man,
Bend
you
the world.
fucking suck at this, dude.
Hey man, I was late
Shut
on the
up!
pull up. All right, so here we go.
Use
Thank
your lightning magic to summon the Patreon names.
You're right. I should have. I've got the hat. It gives me powers.
Come on, dude.
Thank you, Joseph Reardon, Alex Schubert, Butter Toast Man. I love that he still has his profile picture of me naked cuffing my wiener and balls.
Yeah, so when we first saw that, I fucking
You
screenshotted
thought
it, sent it
someone
to
was
Luke. I
scheming
was
on
like,
me.
"Do we shut this dude down, dude? Are we crushing this dude?" And you were like, "I sent a dude my news," and I was like, "All right."
No,
yes.
I got my
done
head
that,
shaved
but
after
it-
my sister
it
got
would turn into a-
diagnosed, and he kept telling me in the Xbox party, "I want to see your shaved head. Like, you got it done? Like, you for real shaved?" I'm like, "Yeah, I shaved." Like, how hard is it to believe? Like, do you want to see it that bad? He was like, "Well, I've never seen you with shaved head before." So I fucking went right upstairs.
What do your toes look
And I
like?
cut my fucking wiener. You want to see it?
Not really.
Look at that.
Oh, cool.
No, not at all. Look, check it out. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, cool.
Just what I didn't want to see.
Thank you, Mike Dermeyer.
You just
KC.
sexually assaulted our guest, dude. Are you
Yeah.
just gonna keep it rolling?
Scott Jorgensen, tri-finger, butthole.
Dude, if there was never a better time for a pile driver, it's right now. Come on, dude.
Nick Heaton.
Give me 2 beer cans so I can smash them above my head real quick.
Are you Stone Cold style? Kill Midgets. Austin James Reed, 93. Tate Corcoran. Jessica Palmy. Vida Albert. Sarah Bovey. Jesus and his 12 Gimps. Charles Clarity. Lord Spit in My Mouth. Mark Johnson. Jason Shiner. Anthony Carter. Turbo Potato 3K. Matthew Carson. Bobby Bronson. Nick Glavin. Psycho Billy. Mr. Puskinty. John Matheny. Neil Tanoan. Steve Worth. And Clint Young. You guys are the absolute cutest.
Thank
We
you.
love you so much.
Love you.
Bye.